Well, hello everyone and welcome. It's so good to be with you today. I'm Dori Soukup, founder of InSPAration Management, and with me today are 5 super successful mastermind members of ours. We are here today to share with you how to overcome obstacles that could be stopping your success. Sometimes we may not notice them, and that's why I'm going to love about being with you today and having all of our mastermind with you to show you how you can actually overcome these obstacles and reach success the fastest way possible. Now, this webinar is part of our M.A.P.S series that we have been doing. But before I get into that, I just want to say welcome to everyone from around the world that are joining us. We literally have people from all over, and it's always so nice to see all of you who are super interested in actual business education and care about your business enough to take the time to actually join us. So I want to congratulate you for taking the time to actually be here and learn. Now, part of this series, the M.A.P.S series, can be found on globalmedspaassociation.com, and there you'll see all the webinars we have been doing to help you minimize the disruption from the coronavirus and how to plan your recovery so you can come out of this better than ever before. So let's start by why I decided to do this webinar. I just feel right now there's so much negativity around us that we could use some positivity. So I invited these wonderful people to be with us today so they can share with you and inspire you and show you that success is possible even now. So the reason really is not just to inspire you, but also I want to bring forth these obstacles that you may not be aware of, and then give you methods to actually overcome them and have that success that you deserve. So that's really what we're going to do. We're going to share some essential principles that are so important to your success, and then we're going to give you an easy way to actually get started. So let me start first by introducing our wonderful panel. Some of you may already know a couple of them actually, because I know Brianna joined me on another webinar before. But let me start from left to right here. I'll start with Maciek and Jennifer. So they work at Spa Mariana in Birmingham, Michigan. I almost said Bloomfield, Birmingham, Michigan. And Maciek is the owner. He's been in business for several years. He's the master educator when it comes to massage, actually. Not only an entrepreneur, but also he's in the process of now launching a whole different revenue stream for his business. But needless to say, they run a very, very successful business. And Jennifer is his director of operations. So I wanted to invite different kinds of people to show you that it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, you can succeed even now. So I brought you a doctor, entrepreneurs, practice managers, so you have a taste of no matter what your position is, you can succeed. Then we have Dr. Leaming. Dr. Leaming is in Austin, Texas. He is a cosmetic surgeon as well as an ear, nose, and throat practice, MD, he has in Austin, Texas. And he also has a med spa. So I met him a few years ago, and he's been such a pleasure to work with. And then we have Karen. And Karen used to be part of a franchise, actually. She's right here in Florida. So I feel the love for our friends from Florida. And actually, she just opened back up, I should say. And they used to be part of a franchise, and then she was not very happy with that. So she decided to leave the franchise behind and do the business model that we actually teach. And she started out doing that. So it's great to have her. They have actually 2 locations, and they have a beautiful place in Florida. And then we have Miss Brianna. Brianna is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they have a family business. Her father is a plastic surgeon. Mom is also helps Brianna run the business, and they have also 2 locations. So the plastic surgery and 2 med spas, and they do an and they do a great job implementing. She's my implementation queen, actually. That's her new name that I have for Brianna, and everybody thinks the same about her. So those are the folks that I brought for you, so you can really learn from today. And I'm so happy that they took the time from their busy schedule. Now, of course, they're all mastermind members, but they are also all Leap Ahead graduates. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are giving away actually a Leap Ahead ticket today. And by the end of this webinar, we're going to be actually announcing a winner. Now, here's what we're going to do. The Leap Ahead usually is $29.50. That's $2,950 for a 3-day event. Now, we were supposed to have one this July, but we decided not to, and instead we're taking it virtually. So what I'm going to give away today is one Leap Ahead ticket that's going to be done online. And if you want to quadruple your chances of winning, you need to go to Facebook and like us, go on Instagram and follow us, go to YouTube, subscribe, and ring the bell. You got to ring the bell. And then, of course, if you'd like to leave us a review, we love reviews as well. But you're going to love winning this ticket, because Leap Ahead is probably one of my favorite events to do. And you will totally transform your business once you actually attend it. Now, I totally skipped over my introduction slide because most people know who I am, but in case you don't, there's one thing I want to make sure you have, and that's my new book we just launched a couple months ago. So if you want to go to Amazon and get it right now, or you can go on our homepage and get a complimentary copy. So I can teach you how to make millions. So you better go get it if you don't have it already. So, all right, well, I don't want to waste any more time because I know I'm excited to go over all the great information here today. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to be listing the obstacles, and then what we're going to do is actually go over them, and I'm going to let the group actually give their insight on how they overcame these obstacles. Now, we are all different. Every entrepreneur is different. Even the panel I brought to you here today are all different individuals, different types of entrepreneurs. But you know what? No matter what kind of entrepreneur you are, there are always obstacles that we are faced with. Just for example, this morning, this is our first day back in the office, and our internet was down. So I had a team of 14 people sitting on their high knees doing absolutely nothing all morning because we have no internet. So these are the obstacles that we come across all the time that could cripple our success. But I want to share with you first the first 10 obstacles that most entrepreneurs are faced with, and then we're going to start overcoming them one by one. So the first one is being paralyzed by fear. And we've all been that not too long ago, right? A couple months ago, all of us were probably paralyzed by fear. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Then the next one is learning without action. Especially now, I see these people that attend webinars, public webinars, over and over. They're listening to this one and that one and that one. They're chasing the bright, shiny objects. But you know what? They're not taking any action. So all they are professional students. That's a big obstacle because success does not happen by itself. You have to take action. The third one is self-doubt, when we start doubting ourselves. Fourth is getting stuck in the comfort zone. And then the fifth is coming across as desperate. Sometimes we need the money so bad that, oh my gosh, we're so fearful and we get stuck. Not a good thing. Number 6, some people think of their business as a hobby instead of a business. It's like, okay, I'll just do it when I can get around to it. Or caring too much about the opinion of others, expecting results to appear without action. Yeah, let's wave that magic wand, right? Doesn't work that way. And then not having that clear vision, and then not investing in themselves with advanced education to really help them grow. Now, as I went through these 10 actual obstacles, so these are the first 5, I want you to look at them And I want you to think to yourself, which one of these obstacles are actually blocking you from success right now? Because that's truly what they do. You may not even notice that they're blocking you, but they really are. So those are the things that we definitely want to talk about today. So let's start with being paralyzed by fear and indecision. You know, as soon as the coronavirus hit us, and I'm sure my panel here agrees with me, it's like this fear set in. But here's the fact, you guys. If you haven't shaken that off, lifted your head out of the sand, and started actually taking action and be courageous and kind of navigate through this, then you're not doing it right. Or the whole thing about being stuck in the learning process, what my group here is going to be talking to you about is how you can overcome overwhelm by taking action. So that's the things that are so important to take away here. And then the third one, and then I'm going to stop and let everybody give their opinion, and that's that self-doubt. Oh my gosh, that kills you actually. Instead of thinking, I am unstoppable, I can do anything, nothing is going to stop me. Or you have the devil on one side and you have the angel on the other side, or hopefully Dori on the other side. Dori's over here, and then you have the devil over here that's telling you, who in the hell do you think you are?
Maybe we should just take the floor until she comes back.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Jen.
All right. Well, I'll start. My name's Jennifer. I'm the operational director at Spa Mariana. And when it comes to the corona, I have a couple things to share and how helpful it has been to have Dori kind of as a leader for us. I truly wholeheartedly believe that we can give 100% of our success to the weekly calls that she's provided in conjunction with the community of people. Some of the other people on the board I've had the pleasure of being able to connect with and learn with, problem solve with. But just having Dori's vision and expertise has been like monumental. Like she mentioned in the beginning, Maciek and I are in Michigan. So as some of you may know, we're probably 3 of the top strictest states as far as reopening. But just her optimism in preparing us for the reopen has been very life-giving, especially given my position. She's kind of helped direct me as operational director on how to calm but yet lead our team to success. Some of the things that she gave us the opportunity for as far as homework and things to think about as leaders is, you know, the business, right? So many of us are working in the business and we don't have that time to work on the business. So through direction, she's helped us with looking at our menu and upgrading them, whether it be services or prices, the VIP membership. We've taken this opportunity to do more team trainings, deciphering who our A, B, and C players are. Essentially, she's given us at Spa Mariana a complete U-Haul of our foundation as a company, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, Jenny, that's true. And then, you know, as far as like a business owner, you know, I wanted to say that we all got it in our heads, right? We know it. We do it every day. We go to work. Everything is fine. But the moment like Corona is all of a sudden like, what is going on now? What to do? So for me, it was really panicky on the beginning, as Dori says, maybe for many people. But also when I saw when she sent us the whole plan for us, for how to handle it, the whole way just went down. And, you know, I started to feel really, really comfortable and at ease. So yeah, that was great.
My practice, we were kind of faced with, I was kind of out on spring break as things were evolving in Texas. And I was communicating with one team member and they were sensing a lot of anxiety within the team. And I had hoped to kind of get back and kind of come back into the practice and be able to do what we normally do, but it became clear on that Monday and that early Tuesday that, you know, we were heading for a shutdown and everyone was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do and how are we going to survive and what's going on? And I have a, you know, fairly, you know, pretty big team. And I'm like, well, this is really crazy. I've never, historic proportions, never faced anything like this. And then with the help of Dori's tutelage, this mastermind group, these meetings, we're able to kind of come up with a plan, be able to get some virtual skincare consults going, be able to kind of work on, like Jen said, not work in the business, but actually work on the business, you know, identify, you know, who are your ABC players was really important. And in fact, because of going through some of this, we've had, you know, actually, you know, decided to let some people go who, you know, we're C players, and we're trying to replace those with, you know, A and B players. So, yeah, it's been, you know, a time of great, I would say, insight into the business, and just being able to take the time and having Dori kind of walk us through the whole process. And I think, you know, the practice coming out of the COVID is going to be in a better shape than we were pre-COVID. So that's all to Dori's team and a lot of these people that are on the webinar, because we've kind of leaned on each other. So.
Definitely. And just to echo that, being paralyzed by fear, when COVID happened, we were really gearing up to have our best year. We started with Dori in 2017, and we were on track to have our best couple of months. And just by having her and her team sit everybody down, and we had webinars Monday through Thursday. So we were on it constantly, and we kept going through it. And even, I don't even know if I showed Dori this, but I made a binder of all of her webinars that she did and put notes in it. And it's really what helped. I mean, you have to take action.
It's your COVID-19 playbook.
It is.
Dori, we didn't even realize you were gone.
Oh my God, I've been gone.
Welcome
I
back, Dori.
I missed out on all the beautiful things you were saying.
It's okay, it's recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little problem here all day today. We blew up like 2 routers. I don't know what's going on. So I guess maybe we're not supposed to be back at work yet. All right, so did everybody fill in on the 3 points and how they handle things?
Everybody but Karen.
All right, so we can move on. We'll let Karen do the next one then. All right, so the next obstacles are the whole thing about being in the comfort zone. And I have to tell you, I am just so proud of all the members that have been participating in all the Brewing Brilliance calls and all the webinars we've been doing. And boy, have I asked them to step out of their comfort zone. And I am so proud of what they've been able to accomplish. Like before this, none of them had done a webinar before or where they had people attend the webinar. And they just, I have to say, they just took the information and ran with it. Like these 2 programs we did, the We Dare system and how to do a webinar, these people, they just ate it up. They just went crazy. Never once did they say, oh no, Dori, I don't want to do this. No, they embraced it. And you know what, you guys, when you're uncomfortable, that's when you have a path to success. If you're sitting back and you're just doing the same old thing, then you're not going to succeed. It makes a big, big difference. So the other one is the being desperate. You know, we may not think about this, but I listen to phone calls sometimes, or I listen to people's communication, and you can just hear it in their voice. Like they want to make a sale so bad that they're almost begging people for making a sale. And that does not work. And instead of cheapening yourself or discounting to get people to buy from you, those are all very bad moves to actually do. So we don't want to play price war games. And you'll hear them tell you how I'm always telling them to raise their prices. I'm always saying that. So definitely you want to get out of the comfort zone. And then the other one, number 6 obstacle, is the whole thing about the business is really a hobby rather than being a business. And what you're actually focused on is what you would get in return. So I'm going to let them talk about all these different things, but this is one of my favorites. Because sometimes we let other people change the way we think about things. Like we'll get all excited and I'm going to go do this. And then you'll hear the sheep saying, well, who in the heck do you think you are? Right? But the lion does not listen to the sheep. Mm-hmm. The lion has a mind of its own. So I want you to be lions. I want you to be unstoppable. And if you put away all the things that other people are saying, it doesn't matter what they're saying. You just have to keep moving forward and keep being daring, because that's what a lion will actually do. So what did we learn from all these obstacles, and how did we actually overcome them? It makes a big difference. So who wants to start us off with some of these points on how you guys actually handle them, and what outcome did you have? And it doesn't have to be just from this period. It could be from things you've done in the past and how it has changed the way you do your business now. Who wants to start us off?
Dori, I can start if you guys allow me to.
Go ahead, Maciek.
Hi, everybody. Maciek here again. I wanted to talk about structuring pricing for success and not desperation. You know, it comes to my mind, like over the years, Dori was always saying, you know, quit Groupons, quit doing Groupons, quit the discounting. And I was so not ready to do this, and I was so afraid because like I was really scared of not getting clients. But it took a leap of faith to just say, no, I'm done. And let me tell you, my business grow even more. That's my share, really.
Yeah. It definitely makes a big difference. But, you know, being courageous is one thing, and actually doing the work is another. And that's what really it takes. Who else wants to share something?
I'll speak a little bit about the comfort zone. And Dori, she gives you some tough love, but it's tough love that you need and you appreciate, because it's going to make you a better at your job, just a better leader, a better entrepreneur. And, you know, she first started with this COVID-19 and doing these webinars. We were like, are we really going to do this? But, you know, I told my team, I was like, you know what, let's give this a shot. And I have to say, we've done 4 webinars, and they're fun. People are engaging, people are chatting, and I was just blown away. But at first you're like, okay, this is, you know, definitely outside of the comfort zone of what I'm used to doing. And, you know, nowhere in my training have I ever had a course on how to do webinars, but for Dori. And we went ahead and set it up, and it's a blast. I actually look forward to my Thursdays when we do them, because they're fun. Mm-hmm. And we stream them live on like Facebook and Instagram, and people give you questions. So thank you, Dori, for getting us out of our comfort zone.
Yes, for sure. It does make a big difference. And Brianna and I were talking about this. She was at the mastermind meeting a few months ago, last year actually. And we were doing videos during that mastermind, because I wanted everybody to get up and again, get out of the comfort zone. And that's really my job, is to kind of guide you through your growth process. And it is my job to push you. So Brianna was sitting in that meeting, and she's thinking to herself, well, I'm going to let her tell you. Go ahead, Brianna, tell them.
In that meeting, I am not one to get in front of the camera. I'm not a big public speaker. And when Dori was talking, I don't know why, but I had a feeling she was going to call on me to go up and do this commercial on this camera. So sure enough, she called me, and I went up and I did it, and I was nervous, but it felt so good, because you get it under your belt, and then you can do anything. And since then, we've done 9 webinars and tons of YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff. And it's thanks to getting us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's, in my introduction, I was saying that Brianna is an implementation queen. Now, everybody on this panel are actually kings and queens of implementation. But I have to tell you, when you have enough motivation, drive, that right now, this is what we got hit with. Okay, so what do we do now? So as soon as we all got together and laid out the plan, I mean, these guys just like right away, they hit the ground running and started doing these things, because I was hesitant at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, are they going to really do the things I'm going to tell them to do? And sure enough, they actually did it. Let's talk a little bit about the pricing and what we just went through the last couple of weeks with your VIP program, and how you were still be able, how you are still now profitable, Brianna, doing the model that we actually implemented almost 3 years ago, and how you changed it for doing what you're doing now. I don't know what you were saying earlier because I lost you a little bit. If you've already covered it, I get it. But if not, then you might want to give them an idea of the process you went through.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started with Dori in right at the tail end of 2016, and our business was making money but barely breaking even. So there were so many things that we needed to change, and we had a fresh start where Dori came out. We had a lot of B and C players, and you know, we were fearful because Dori was saying, you know, you really need to let go of this person, and this person. And it's like, well, they've been with us for 20 years. It was nerve-wracking, but it ultimately was the right decision and the best thing for our business. So then going to the leap ahead, there were so many different things that we implemented, going through things like the compensation package and memberships. That was something that we never did. And just to fast forward, when COVID happened and we were shut down, we have a little over 300 members. And by doing things with the memberships that we had, we have since tweaked them and made them better. I can tell you more about that. But we were profitable. We made a little over $100,000 in the time that we were closed down. And that's definitely all thanks to Dori and her team. And
no, it's all thanks to you implementing. It's all thanks to you implementing.
You pushed me, so.
Yeah. But the thing I want to mention though is this, and when Brianna and Linda first started making the transformation of their business, they didn't have a membership. Their pricing was way too low. They're so nice that they have the best benefit package I have ever seen in a med spa ever. They are just so generous and so giving that when we looked at their financials, they were giving so much, but they were not receiving in return. And that's a mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs actually make that you really need to pay attention to. So one of the things that we implemented right away, and the reason they were still profitable now, is because of their VIP membership. And they have over 300 members, and Karen has a very successful membership model as well. But what we did is we took a big leap into selling a lot of those memberships. And the reason that helped them now is because you have that nice reoccurring model that's actually coming in. Now, had they been just to the point where, okay, Dori, I'm comfortable where I am now. I'm okay not making a lot of money. It's okay. No, that's not what they were thinking. They decided, okay, I'm going to trust in what this person is telling me, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So last year, when everybody shared their percentages of growth, Brianna and Linda, their numbers were just unbelievable. I think their membership sales went up from the previous year over 100%. Correct me if I remember correctly.
108% it went up.
They went up in membership sales 108% to lead them to that over 300 members, right? And their retail sales went up by how much?
83%.
83%. And then their revenue, overall revenue, went up by how much?
78%.
78%. Now imagine having those kind of numbers, you guys. But you know what? Again, they did not happen magically. It did not happen magically. It took effort. Like she's giving me the credit. I don't take the credit. I'm the guide. I give you the information, and really you should take the credit because you're doing all the work, right? I'm just guiding you. I'm helping you. And that's what makes a big difference between a great entrepreneur that's serious about achieving success and the other one that's, I'll just keep winging it, right? We don't want to keep winging it. We are not a nonprofit organization. We need to be successful. That's very, very important. Karen, you want to jump in and say a couple of things about some of these obstacles that you overcame? Because I know your story is amazing in going with the franchise first and then divorcing them and coming on board with us?
Well, first of all, they've never had any experience at all opening a spa ever. And when we approached Dori, we had been independent. We broke free from the franchise because it just wasn't our focus. And again, talking about having that clear vision, their vision was different than our vision. And at the time, when I saw Dori for Leap Ahead, we had about 900 members, which I thought was doing pretty good. I was feeling awesome, and decided to go in the hot seat, where I got critiqued for our menu, and it was rough. It was rough, but you know what? I volunteered. It was the best thing I ever did. So we implemented immediately. I mean, we had the best, the best results before COVID happened. And we increased our prices, we increased our membership prices, we added a platinum package. And during that time, during the COVID, to everyone else's point as well, is that I felt, what are we going to do now? We're still young. We're not even, it's a year and a half for our first location and just turned a year for the second.
Yeah. And the interesting thing though, Karen, to me with your situation is that when some people join the franchise, it's a given. You're supposed to get an entire business model, get all the ins and outs, get all the tools that you need, get all the scripts that you need. But did that happen?
That happened. And by the way, the only thing is we just hired 2 more people. I'm sorry, we just hired 3 more people. And we're hiring a spa director this week, and they're all coming from prestigious places. So we're very, very excited about, what's to come in the future based on our confidence and our, and knowing what we're doing is the right thing.
And what people tell me usually, Karen, is what they get from our material in comparison to what a franchise gives people. It's like they're supposed to give them all the stuff, and then they really end up with almost nothing.
We got nothing, and with hearing what she had to say was definitely, wow. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want, and it just keeps us being encouraged every minute, and we just never sit still because we're so excited about the next thing. We just bought 2 new hydrofacial machines that just got trained on last week. So, I mean, it's keep on going, keep on plowing ahead, and that's where you'll see the success.
Yeah. And, and that's what separates, again, a good entrepreneur from one that's maybe, I shouldn't call them an entrepreneur, because if you're a bad entrepreneur, you're not an entrepreneur. So what you want to do in a situation like this, if you notice, this group, they're all investing in their business, like Maciek and Jen. They're building a brand new location right now. They were supposed to be moved in right now into this amazing, beautiful new location, right? I'm investing money right now in my studio. I'm spending over $100,000 on a studio. Same thing with Dr. Leaming. He's investing in marketing and advertising. Brianna, the same way. So if you have a solid business model before the coronavirus, then you're in a much better situation. Now, I know it is where we are right now, but what can you do now to actually improve your business? So God forbid, if we get hit again, what situation are you going to be in? So right now is the time to strengthen your business and do the things that you've been wanting to do for a long time and you have not done. And when you do those kind of things, then you're going to really set yourself up for success. I actually have a brand new things for them. I haven't even told them this yet. And I'm working on something to really make your business foolproof. So even if we don't open back up all the way, and you're open, I know some of you are opening, but God knows what's going to happen. So I'm going to be sharing some things with you guys to where we're still going to be able to make money, even though we may not be open physically in a location. So I've been brewing brilliance with that one. So I'll be sharing that with you. I'm super excited about it. But let's talk a little bit about who they should take advice from, because I think this is very important. There is so much information out there. And I really want to ask you this, why did you choose InSPAration Management as your guide, as the people to help you succeed? Because there were other choices, right? So why did you pick InSPAration Management?
You're right, Dori. There are other, like-minded companies out there, but what I first met Dori, it was actually at a M.A.P.S kind of boot camp. She was a guest speaker there. There were other practice development consultants that were also in attendance. And I had, I believe, probably 4 of my teammates there. Mm-hmm. And Dori would kind of, gave her talk, which was very mind-opening. Just how she works her compensation package is revolutionary. Her VPG program is fabulous. And she kind of gave a little bit of an introduction to the VPG program at this conference. And then afterwards she comes over. I asked a few questions at the conference. She comes over and she says, Dr. Leaming, I need you to sign up to be on a program I have, and
a mastermind member.
Mastermind program. You need your team can benefit from my services. And I was like, okay, let me think about it.
And he was. Let me tell you, I have to say this. He even has a testimonial on our website saying how much convincing it took to get him. That's why I'm glad you're telling everybody that, because it took some convincing to actually get you on board.
Yeah. So she planted the seed for sure at the event, and I was intrigued by what she had to say and just how she presented and just how she carries herself, and I'm like, okay. And I talked to the team. The team was like, yeah, we should do this. We should do it. She got them motivated, but it took some convincing, and lo and behold, I was like, okay, we're going to sign up. We're going to do it. And we went out to Leap Ahead. And honestly, we had her out for a fresh start. That was a year ago, back in January of 2019. And it's been full speed ahead ever since. We haven't had as much growth as Brianna has, but we've had some significant growth. And it's kudos to Dori. And,
wow.
there were other people that we talked to, but it was, I just felt comfortable with her, and just, Can
I tell them the little story though? So when I went on sites, I always want people to grow at least 25%, right? So they already had a very successful business, right? Because he's been in business for a while. They were already making multiple 7 figures, and it's harder to grow as much when you already have a very successful business. So I'm sitting there, we're working through the budgeting process, the compensation models, all the financials, and I'm telling them, I really need you. I feel confident that you can grow at least 25%. So they're all looking at each other like, how in the heck are we gonna grow at least 25%? So we set the goals, we did the training. That was like in the fall of that year. And then in February, we were all in Vegas for a conference. So I see Dr. Leaming coming towards me with his practice manager, and they're all smiling and grinning ear to ear. I'm like, oh, why guys, are you so happy? They're like, you'll be amazed. You're gonna be so proud of us. Not only did we exceed the targets of 25%, but we also did another 15,000 on top of it. So that's what his team was able to do. So anything is possible. It does not matter where you are now. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of making the application of what needs to be done and then going with it. So if they can grow, you know how hard it is to grow 25% when you've been open for years? It's very difficult, but they did it. They did it. And that's the amazing thing about Dr. Leaming and his team. So proud of you guys. Yeah, and we were on the trajectory to grow that much this first quarter before COVID hit. So absolutely. Year over year, I think you can do it. Yeah. It's just a matter of strategically planning the whole process and make sure that you're doing it properly. Yeah. And then the other thing with like Magic and Jen, oh my gosh, Jen, I think is my youngest mastermind member. And she continues to impress us all the time. She did, they were hiring, as I told you, they're building a brand new place, so they're having to hire brand new people. So we were on one of our Brewing Brilliance calls, and we were covering recruiting. So, you know, normally during the Leap Ahead seminar, I teach people how to do career events. So I'm sitting there the night before thinking, well, why couldn't we take the career event online? So I go to the meeting, I tell them this is what you should do. And what do? The very next day, Jennifer is in front of a camera doing this career invite, getting people on a webinar where they're telling them all about their company, and they were able to set up interviews from that webinar. And she was able to just catch it and run with it. I'm just so proud, so proud. So there are so many great stories about this. Do you want to add something to this, Jennifer?
Can I say, Dori, something before you, Jennifer? You know why, Dori? Because we listen to lions.
Mine, I think, is in my car.
Here's my lion.
Yeah, quickly before Jen says Dori, though, for me, guys, it was maybe much easier to choose Dori, even though I was broke, because I started business as one person. And then, of course, over time, we grew it to 2 locations and 1 team in South Africa. But Dori I got recommendations for Dori from the consultant, believe it or not.
Another consultant that he was using.
Like, no, you don't need me. You don't need Dori.
That.
That was funny. Go ahead, Jenny.
Can you imagine another consultant recommending me?
Right. That was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, for us, we've been kind of working more on the internal side of things. Maciek and I do a lot of working in the business, and it was time for us to work on the business, like I mentioned, when Dori took a little coffee break earlier. And as she said, yep, I'm the youngest Leap Ahead graduate, and I feel very, very honored. I remember when I spoke with Maciek about coming on initially as the spa manager, I was in the health and wellness industry for a while, but never in the spa industry. And I said, Maciek, I'll come work for you if you teach me everything you know about business. Holy pooper scooper. I had no idea, like 3 years later, I was still gonna go through this crash course of business. And the people that he has, including Dori, have been such a blessing, especially for me. You know, like I said, I was in the health and wellness industry, but never the spa industry. And yeah, while there was some overlapping, Leap Ahead was a crash course. It was a crash course that for someone like me who is going to be leading everybody, it was something that I needed. And so part of, you know, Maciek's package for leadership is, you know what, you need to be on the same page as where I am as far as what the vision is and how we do things. And it was actually right before Corona started, we sent 2 more managers down to be with Dori. And I tell you what, you cannot put a price tag on the knowledge in those 3 days. I mean, it's either spend a little bit of money in a short time period for 3 days, or take 6 months to 12 months to get your leadership and management on that same page. And for us, it's a no-brainer. It's crazy.
Well, just the way to see how they're coming back from Leap Ahead, like energize their bodies, like give me something to do. I want to implement, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's always difficult, though, for people to decide to invest in something. And sometimes we just think that we can do things on our own and not really, you know, give it your all. And that's one way to get to success, but it might take you a little bit longer, to where when you have these kind of people around you, and I mean, they're getting so close right now. I think this is the closest we've ever been. They really, I mean, they see each other almost every day. And they're talking and sharing, and it really makes such a big difference to really your business. So I want to go back just to the profitability here for a minute. We just finished setting up everybody's VIP membership program. I want to spend some time talking about the reoccurring revenue model, because this is what you really need right now. Because if you have a reoccurring revenue model, like many of our members have, then you're going to really be able to float a lot better. So I just want to use Brianna for an example with creating their membership. Though they had a few members, So what they did is they had 3 levels, which normally we set up. But what we just did now is we just increased our prices instead of decreasing the prices. So Brianna, you want to tell them a little bit what you did with your VIP program?
Sure. We have 2 locations. So our membership structure before was a little bit harder for clients to understand. It was priced a little bit all over the place. It went from $90. Our highest was $275. And by sitting with Dori and learning really what we should be doing, we looked at all of our people and found out the highest level people that came in, they spent about $6,000 or $7,000 a year. So we took that and made that into a membership. So now our membership pricing, our highest level is $499, our mid-level is $299, and our lowest level is $159. And it makes so much sense because you show them that they want to invest in themselves. They want to develop a customized plan so they can come in, have an in-depth consultation with one of our experts, and have a whole year mapped out for them on what they can do to get the results that they want. And it really was eye-opening because it makes so much sense. And we just opened for Botox only started this week and have talked to so many people who are already like, get me on it. I love it. It's a great idea. So it's exciting. We're really excited about it. And our prices went up and they don't mind.
Yeah. And that's the thing I really want you to focus on right now. Instead of being cheap and discounting, you don't really need to do that. Let the other people discount and be cheap. This is a good time for you to truly position yourself as the experts that you are. Now, Karen also opened up last Monday, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So Karen, how's it going right now?
We actually were completely booked. We have more guests than providers, so that's why we've been hiring. So that's been pretty awesome.
Nice.
But to your point, Brianna and Dori, about the pricing, is that the biggest concern that we had when we did increase our pricing is that our providers were worried that they weren't going to be able to keep members if we increased the prices.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how many people noticed?
None.
0.
Yeah.
None. Nobody noticed.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing it gradually, and you know, we also took a lot of implementation tips. So we started adding small chocolates at the end of the service, just small touches. We deserve it. Coming into our spa is luxury. Then never discount yourself ever. You know, because people go there for an experience. It's not about the money. You know, and as long as you provide amazing service and a good experience, there will not be an issue.
Yeah.
You know, and so we learned that. You know, I think here in Florida, people are just dying to get out. You know, they're like really just, you know, we're doing all the safety protocols, we're doing temperature checks. As per Dori suggested, we did a sanitation video just to tell people what we do, how we're cleaning, what, you know, and everything is really making a big difference. You know, the one location is more concerned than the other location. But it's, you know, it's definitely, we changed everything to disposable, nail kits, all that stuff. So it's been wonderful.
One thing I want to go back to, you said a very important point, Karen, is that sometimes the team are more concerned with the pricing than you. And we experience the same thing actually with anybody that I start working with at first, is they always have pricing that frankly are too low. They're not making enough profit. Even though they're generating millions on top, they're not getting to keep the respectful profit margin. So the team sometimes, because they don't think they can afford something, they judge other people's pocketbook and then they start dragging you down. So we really need to be thinking about how to get this message across to your team, how to change their mindset so they buy in on the pricing and they buy in on the attitude that, yes, they can actually charge this much. They can ask for this much. And if we don't work with our teams on overcoming that obstacle, then it really can harm you. And we went through that mostly, probably more with Brianna than anybody else, because their team was with them for so long and they were so used to doing inexpensive facials. So when I came in, they were like, who in the heck does she think she is? What do you mean we're going to start charging $120 at least for a facial? So we really had to work on that mindset. And when you do, things totally change. Right now, actually, Brianna, why don't you tell them what they said now, the team, like from where they were like a couple of years ago to where they are now.
When Dori first came out and she talked to them, there might have been a voodoo doll of you. I'm not sure, that people were like, who is this? Why would you bring her here? And our top of the line facial was $67 and we were giving everything away. It was crazy. And now they're actually suggesting we raise our prices, and they're looking at it. You know, we should probably go a little higher on this. They could probably afford it. Total mind change, a shift in their thinking. And we've been on these webinars. Dori's had some great team webinars, and because of that, our team is as tight as they've ever been.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, they have like the volume per guest that you heard them talk about. I mean, they have the one esthetician that I know that they have. I know her by name because she's been more vocal than most, but her name is Jerry. And her retail VPG, and correct me if I'm wrong, but her retail volume per guest is $125. That means every person that walks into her treatment room is walking out with a $125 bag. Do you know what the average is? The average is not even $5. So she is at $125 average. That's amazing. And I'm talking about national average, not their facility average. Most people do not recommend retail products. Most people are not making the revenue that they could be making. They're not seizing the opportunities where when you focus on your team, and you get the buy-in on, yes, what we're doing is a great thing. Yes, we do need to be profitable. Yes, you're worthy of charging more. And when you change that mindset, they're going to buy in and be on your side a lot faster than not.
The VPG has been really great. We've had, like Dori had said, we had team members that were there for a long time. So they had a high $1 an hour. And then when we told them, well, we're going to take that down by $4 and you have the potential to be making a lot more, nobody believed it. And they're doing really well. They're actually recommending and upselling and filling their books, and it works.
Yeah, it does.
Well, to piggyback on that, we're actually excited, a little nervous, but excited. Because anytime you make huge change, you know, there's always going to be some ripples in the pond, some people who are for and who are against. But nonetheless, we are in the process of doing the compensation mix. And I think it's beautiful. It allows people to be presented with their true worth, and the language and Dori's team that actually help you have those conversations with your team member is priceless. I've had a couple of coaching sessions with the financial director that she has, Martina, and their expertise and knowledge, and they hold your hand in a way that makes you feel like you can do it, but they don't do the work for you. They encourage you, they support you, they give you that foundation, they give you the tools, and I'm really excited to present it to our team. It's going to be some big change.
Yeah, it's going to be good though. Yeah, change is always good.
I mean, that compensation program is just so, to this day, blows my mind how you set it up with the 3 different, you know, low, medium, high. You decide, you know, based on your performance. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It's revolutionary.
That's the time where we stop doing hobby business, but we start doing business, you know?
That's right. It's not a hobby, it's business. Yes, it's definitely business. So the other one is obstacles. Number 8, obstacle is expecting things to happen magically and without action. Now, if you ask my panel here, you guys, how much work is it taking to still be profitable even now? It's not easy. I mean, you heard, I mean, I'm working very hard, they're working very hard, and together we're able to achieve. Because if you just think things are going to get better, or you buy this program, or we've had people, you know, come to the Leap Ahead and they attend and they get all excited and go back. but they're one of those people that are gonna think, oh, I did attend, but you know what? I haven't done anything. Well, guess what? Nothing's gonna change if that's the case. So you have to really take that action. It's very important to do that. And then this is probably one of a very important one here. Obstacle number 9 is the lack of belief in yourself and in your team, and then an unclear vision. Because if you're not very clear on where it is that you want to go, like we work on a business model, we work on all aspects of that model. And if you don't have the proper vision for that business model of what you want your business to be like, what kind of team do you want to have, what kind of facility do you want to have, what kind of experience do you want to deliver for your guests, those are all things that you should visualize and then turn into a reality. Share that vision with your team, because if we don't clarify the vision, guess what? You're not going to know how to get wherever you want to get to. Could you imagine driving from California to Florida, not knowing what highway you need to take? Are you going to be able to get to Florida? Yes, but how long is it going to take you to get here? Where if you had a GPS, you can just follow it and you'll be able to get there a lot faster. So those are the things that you really need to make sure that you do. And then the last one is investing in yourself in advanced education. Now, there's 2 types of education that you should be investing in yourself. One is clinical, so you can keep introducing new and exciting things, and you always want to brush up on your talent. And then the second one is business, and you've got to make those a priority. Could you imagine if somebody's going to run for the Olympics and they're not practicing every day and they just show up and say, oh, I'm going to run the 50 meter and I'm going to win a gold medal? Is that going to happen? Never in a million years. So they have to invest the time, the money in coaching and getting the best talent to help them reach that goal. And if they don't do that, then they're just going to be an average runner. They're not going to be an Olympian. So the question here is, do you want to be a business Olympian? Do you want to be the best of the best? And when you make that decision, then it's going to take some time and it's going to take some money to invest in yourself to actually make it happen. And when you do, then your business is going to soar and it's going to prosper. But if you don't and you just wait for things to happen on their own, then those obstacles are going to block you from success. And it makes a really big, big difference. So let's dive in a little bit from how these guys overcame some of these obstacles. I want you to talk about implementation a little bit more, and don't make it sound easy, because it really isn't. Implementation is not easy. It does take some work, but the results that you get after you implement make a big difference. So who wants to kind of tell us a little bit about what it's like for them to implement?
I can start.
Go ahead.
Implementation is definitely not easy. It takes a lot of hours, and you really have to get all of the information. You kind of have to do a brain dump onto paper and then just follow how you want to proceed and get it done. And if you can just go mind over matter, figure out what your priorities are and just do it. You just have to do it. That's the best advice I can give people. Then you can get it done. And with the Leap Ahead, I wanted to mention, we've been to the Leap Ahead twice now. The first one that we went to, we got a lot of great information and we implemented pieces of it, but you learn a lot. We did go to a second one a year later, and there was so much more information that we took from that we were able to implement even more. And I do believe that I am a forever learner. I love learning, but I also implement. So it's probably a good thing, but I will never stop going to the Leap Ahead until Dori tells me I'm not allowed to come anymore.
I think it's so important to do that first step, because once you do that first step, the rest kind of falls into place. So the first one's always the hardest. And so when we did the price increases, oh, we did this, we're able to do this. Okay, now we're doing our own branded products, and everything started. The morale, I have to say, for the entire team, and we have 37 now, 37 employees. it made people get excited. They're like, wow, they're really making changes to make this even better, and so you'll get that respect as well from the team, which is so important.
Yeah. And what's really nice is when I see people come back, because we do have a lot of alumni that actually come, and now that we're taking it virtual, I'm sure a lot more people are going to be attending like crazy, because they've always told me, oh, I don't want to travel or this or that. So we'll see. But the point I want to make with the implementation, though, is even though it is difficult, if you keep the vision and the goal in front of you, that's the motivator that's going to get you to keep going. So even though the little devil on the shoulder is going to be saying, oh, I would rather be watching TV right now. I would rather be golfing right now. I would rather be doing nothing right now. So you are going to have these influences that are going to try to get you to procrastinate and not implement. And that's when you get in trouble. That's when you fall off the bicycle and you injure yourself. But you have to keep going. You have to keep implementing, because implementing is what leads to success. And without it, you're not going to be able to get where you want to go at all. At all. So.
I will echo, you just really have to keep your eye on the prize. You cannot take your eye off the prize, because your team not necessarily is going to embrace everything you're implementing. For the most part, people are a little bit hesitant to change, and then you're going to kind of alter how they're doing things, and messing with their compensation. There's a little bit of pain in that process to get them to the new program. So but you got to keep your eye on the prize, and then, just stay laser focused.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, you have a certain agenda because you're the business owner. Then the team has a different agenda. So you need to take yourself out of the role of leadership and put yourself in their shoes and understand why is it in their best interest to actually apply what you're trying to teach them. You really have to put yourself in their shoes. And as a matter of fact, that's probably the best advice I can give you as far as how to get your message across. You always want to be in the other person's shoes. And when you do that, then you're going to see everything from their point of view. And when you see things from their point of view, then you're able to flex that mentality, flex that philosophy to get them to come to your side and show them why this is actually going to benefit them in the long run. And just like Brianna said, their team now understands that. They didn't understand my first visit when I first came on location and tried to turn things upside down. They really needed a transformation. They had to transform. And did it happen overnight? Again, no. I mean, I think Linda had my number on speed dial. Brianna's mom. Yeah, Dori, this is happening now. This is happening now. So it's not easy. But you know what? That's why you have to know how to handle all these obstacles so they can lead you to success. It's really very, very important. So let's talk a little bit about money and investing in education, because I think a lot of people probably have a little difficulty with that, especially now. They think, oh, well, I don't have the money now. Actually, now is the time that you need to invest in yourself and your business. But, our program is not cheap. I know. Like, to come to the Leap Ahead in person is $3,000. For the virtual, I'm going to make it a little bit less. But still, or even to be a mastermind member, I mean, our levels of membership right now, one is $2,200, one is $1,800, one is $1,395. So these guys are making an investment on a monthly basis, right? So what separates a person from wanting to make that investment in their future, in their business success, and the person that's sitting back saying, ooh, I don't know, that's a lot of money, how much in return do you get for that investment? So if I came to you and I said, invest in the stock market, let's say $2,000 a month, but I'll guarantee you get at least 10 times your money back. Would you make that stock purchase? If I guarantee you get 10 times your money back? Of course, everybody would. So what drove you guys to make that investment?
Well, for me, Dori, it was like I mentioned, I started by myself and I was scared. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about business. And, yes, was I a great massage therapist? Yes, I had the dream to build a team though. And then what kind of tools to use. And, even though I started first and I had a small team and I started wearing all the hats. So, all the hats were so heavy for me. I couldn't really afford not to reach out and get help from the mentor, from the coach. I always say nobody of us can afford not to have a coach. That's priceless, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think anything is possible if you have the right drive. You just need to have the roadmap. And for us, being able to be a part of this group, you can see in 3 years, it's completely transformed our business. It's a no-brainer. It has helped, and we've made some really great friends with people in the mastermind group that I would call and ask business stuff to because I trust them, and I can't wait to see them in person.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But you have to have the roadmap, and this is the roadmap.
Yeah.
Well, and to piggyback off of what Brianna said, it's a community of like-minded people. When you all are studying the same type of information, a lot of us study with or struggle with the same things, hence why she has the modules that she does. And so we too at Spa Mariana have created great relationships with other businesses who are a part of this membership program for encouragement, for questioning, for, how did you do this? And, how was the feedback with your team? I mean, you just kind of like throw things off of each other. And it's been, I think for me during the quarantine, that's been one of the biggest blessings is just the community and being able to check in every day at 11 o'clock and seeing the same faces. And like Dori said, I'm going to miss everybody. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch them just so I can see everyone's face.
That's funny.
But just we're all very encouraging. We're all on the same page. And for a lot of us, you understand there's value in that. And especially for the owners, peace of mind, being able to sleep at night, knowing that your business is being taken care of. Because like Brianna said, you have the tools, you have the modules, you apply it, you teach your team, and then it works.
Yeah.
Systems work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's the
in
thing.
reality, I think you really can not afford not to do it because you'd be foolish not to do it. I mean, it is proven over and over with, all of our successes as a group, but your systems work, your processes work, your roadmap is time and time again, it leads to success. Now you have to implement it, which is, can be challenging, but I mean, it's doable. I mean, it's definitely doable. I think people should afford not. I mean, they're foolish if they don't invest that resource.
Yeah. Thank you. I think so too, because I too invest in my education. This year I budgeted $80,000 actually in my education. And that's the only way you can continue to really grow and blossom, because if you don't keep learning and keep investing in yourself, who's going to? Nobody is going to do it. So you really have to do it on your own. So here's where we are, you guys. With the new, I'm going to announce the winner here in just a second. But for you to get started, it's so important to realize there's two ways to success. You can either keep doing what you're doing right now, keep trying to figure things out on your own. You may reach success, but it probably take longer. And right now, we don't really have time to waste. Or you can pick the fastest way possible, and this would be a great first step for you in the right direction. So whether you've already attended Leap Ahead and you're with us today, or you have not attended Leap Ahead yet, this is the starting point in working with us. Anybody that comes to Leap Ahead basically receives the entire blueprint on how to run a business successfully. So why would you want to reinvent the wheel if you can just follow the blueprint that these guys have actually followed and been able to succeed with it? So here's what I'm going to do for you. If you haven't done this yet, you should go like us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to do the Leap Ahead seminar virtually. So the first thing you're going to get is you get this big binder with all the information that you need in it, all the presentation slides that I would actually be going over. And I'm going to break up the 3-day event into 12 modules. Each module is going to be 2 hours. So we'll do an hour and a half of teaching and then half an hour of Q&A until we go through all the program. We cover basically 6 areas in the Leap Ahead. So you're gonna get those modules. Then we're gonna give you the 5 tools that come with the Leap Ahead. And that is your marketing plan. Actually, you're gonna get 6 things. You're gonna get the marketing plan, and then you get these 5 implementation tools. You heard them talk about the volume per guest compensation model. So you get that. You get the guest relations audio. You get the team building on how to hire and train your team effectively. You'll get the don't sell, recommend, and also the budget. So these are all tools that you get. They're all going to be downloadable, so you can take them and start implementing right away as we're going through the information. So if you were to purchase these tools by themselves a la carte, it would be over $3,000 just to buy the tools without a seminar. So here's what I'm gonna do for you. So you're gonna get all these tools, and then you have the option of 2 different programs. You can either purchase the classic ticket, which is $14.95 instead of $29.50, right? So we're just doing it virtual and breaking it up. And I'm making it easy for you. You can make 3 monthly payments of $4.95 each. Or you can get the VIP ticket because you are gonna need some direction with implementation. So this one would be $18.95, and you get 3 30-minute sessions with one of the business advisors. So you can have either one. And you'll get the binder, plus you get all the tools with the Leap Ahead. So if I were you, I would do the $18.95. That way you have some support after you attend, but it's up to you. Either one would be great. Now here's the best part. We guarantee everything that we do. If at the end of the 12 modules, you told me, Dori, I did not get anything out of this, then we give you your money back. But you have to go and try implement it first. If you go and you implement and then you don't get results, I'll give you your money back. But you know what? We've never had to do that, thank God, because we're confident in being able to help you. So the first one is gonna be, the first module we're gonna start is on July 6th. I think that's the right date. And well, we're gonna have an entire landing page. We just couldn't take it live today because our internet was down. So we'll be sending you an email with a landing page where you can go find out all the modules we're gonna go through, and then you'll be able to register right from that page. So if you go to InSPArationManagement.com and under seminars, you'll see the Leap Ahead, and you'll be able to see all the information and be able to sign up from there. And I hope to see you online like this on a Zoom doing the Leap Ahead. So excited. You know how many people have been begging me to do this for years and years and years? All right, so I have a person. They gave me a name of the person, but they didn't tell me where they were from. Okay, so we're giving away 1 Leap Ahead ticket. And the lucky winner, let's hear a drum roll. See how much fun we have? It's Michelle Landry. Miss Michelle Landry, you are the lucky person that's going to join us. She's a nurse practitioner, I think from LA or Louisiana, one of the two, I don't know. And she didn't give me the name of her place. But congratulations to you. Now, just because you didn't win does not mean that you're not a winner. You are a winner because I'm giving you a great opportunity to come and join us for the Leap Ahead at a great, great price. So go to the website and sign up. And I want to tell you a couple of little things that we're doing that are very exciting to help you with the process these days. So every Friday, we're doing the Brewing Brilliance. And right now we're going over Think and Grow Rich. We had the first chapter last Friday, and every Friday from now on, we're going through the entire book. It is so much fun. You've got to join me for the book gathering with Dori on Fridays. And then if you're kind of confused and you don't know where to start, you can always sign up right from the homepage for a success planning session. And then one of my team members will get with you and see how we can help you. So don't feel like you're alone right now, because you really are not. You have people around you that are willing to help you. And don't forget to go to globalmedspa-association.com to watch all the other M.A.P.S webinars that we've been doing. So you guys have been great. Thank you so much for joining me. It was so much fun. I am so proud of you and your accomplishments. You really are doing great things, and I'm sure you're going to keep doing great things. So congratulations to all of your success. Any last word of advice for everybody?
We love you, Dori.
Yeah.
I love you too. If somebody, a lion, yeah. If somebody's sitting on the fence right now, what would you tell them?
Don't do it. You won't regret it.
Jump in.
Jump in.
Sooner or later, you're gonna do it anyway. So why not start right now?
Yeah.
Start right now, and then you can be part of this group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was so much fun. Sorry about my little internet hiccup. And I see you guys tomorrow. And everybody else, until next time, stay inspired.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.